innovate in a variety of ways. We have many policy documents, how to evaluate principals, principal effectiveness. But at the end of the day, what I really think we're doing is we're redefining the principalship in general, and thereby having an impact on redefining what school is.
Back in March, we sponsored a conversation about the economic implications of the achievement gap using data from our partners at McKinsey and Company. And we decided at that point that it would be great to partner with new leaders in yet another endeavor to actually bring to the field a conversation about what's actually going right. And so this conversation with Milton is the beginnings of that. And what he shared with us are some extraordinarily powerful models for how public education can be and is working better for kids in different parts of the country.
I start with the premise in Education Nation that we need to make education a national priority in a much more ambitious way than we've done in the past. Could we make education the same priority as national security, a thriving economy? Every nation is only as good as its educational system. We are finally now beginning to understand this. We're basically 20th, roughly 20th, when it comes to our 4th graders and our 8th graders on the PISA tests. Other nations have moved more quickly ahead. We've got some catching up to do. I think the bet we're making, the hope is that technology, as it's developed now, can accelerate our change. Our first story that we made was a school in Chula Vista, California, where kids collected insects and then sent them to scientists, entomologists at San Diego State. This is 1997. And through a fiber optic connection, we're able to look at their insects online under an electron microscope that the scientists had at San Diego State. So this is an example of a project where technology has provided a solution. Every student is creative. We are naturally creative as human beings. What schools do often is educate creativity out of students. Most people in this field of education do not make that connection between social emotional learning and cognitive learning. Roger Weisberg is the head of CASEL, which is the leading SEL organization based in Chicago. For many years, he would talk about the importance of kids feeling good about themselves, able to express what they're experiencing, bringing their family into the classroom. And many teachers would say, well, that sounds like another piece of curriculum to add to the plate. And Roger Weisberg says, we don't believe it's something to add to the plate. We believe it is the plate. It is the platform. It is the container for everything that you want to have happen in the classroom. We cannot get to the 21st century learning system without giving kids, every kid, access to their own digital device. Technology can accelerate learning. I like this phrase that technology provides wheels for the mind. This is also a return to having teachers own their curriculum. For so long, curriculum in the form of textbooks has come from the major publishers to teachers. Now we see the best teachers have developed lesson plans that they can share. And it's being rated by users, by experts. Virginia is one of the best places that said this about 3 years ago. Let's throw out the science textbooks because we think we have in Virginia some great science teachers who have already designed these great lessons. We've got some expert scientists who can rate them. Let's create a site where you can find the best science teaching lessons. The change in assessment is probably the single most important thing we can do, because assessment drives everything else, and there you have the past 10 years. You know, Congress and George Miller, as you know, our Bay Area leader for No Child Left Behind, when they announced No Child Left Behind, they said we're open to other forms of assessment besides these tests. But the fact is, we hadn't created those. Now, the U.S. Department of Education has funded 2 major consortia to redesign the assessment system. And they are moving towards what we call performance-based assessment.
I think the powerful message of the book is the gestalt, all of them together, which some of the examples that Milton shared is actually really powerful examples of. Changing how we think about time, changing how we consider our clients, you know, changing the actual structure of education so that it's not just inclusive in terms of the kids we serve, but actually inclusive in terms of the assets we bring to the table to help serve those kids.